Yo, what's up trainers, welcome back to a new video, and in today's video we're gonna be diving into the Ultra League. Also, as you can see, I am back on creating content. Haven't been posting a lot for a while, basically had some relationship issues, don't want to go into too much detail about that, as we are not a vlogging channel, we are here for business. The team I'm showing you today is going to be a AMPHAROS on the lead. As a safe swap we're using the Jellicent, and as a closer we're using, well, Poliwrath, because you have to use Poliwrath at this moment of time, because otherwise you will just lose. Also, as you just saw on the screen, if you're new to the channel, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, would mean a lot to me. So without further ado, let's just hop into these battles and commentate on those. So this team worked out very well for me. I climbed 200 points. Also, I haven't been playing too much. Here we go for the catch and we get the catch. But as I said, I haven't been playing too much lately. Well, as I said, relationship issues, stuff like that, so I hadn't really put my mind into the game. But I'm gonna try to get back there and focus and hope to climb Elo ASAP. So here we go for the aerial ace. They could have tried to catch there my opponent, but unfortunately they were well, too slow there, and now they might do so, and I'm gonna overfarm at this point, and they actually tried to catch there. So if they did it at the first try, they would have easily got that aerial ace, but now we actually got a shield, which is huge. We can also spam out another one. In general, Steelixes aren't running Breaking Swipe anymore, although it's still okay-ish, but you won't get the guaranteed debuff. With Psychic Fangs, as you can see right now, you will obviously get the guaranteed defense fell. So, well, it's basically choosing your odds. Either way you wanna, well, get the defense fell or not. So I stopped tapping there, making sure that we got some extra. We'll get some extra farm here on our AMPHAROS, which is nice. They go for another Psychic Fangs, which is fine, and now we're just gonna spam out these Thunder Punches. If they let this move go through, they're almost gonna get KO'd. We're gonna hard swap into that Poliwrath, and what do they have in the back? It's going to be a Greninja, so that's going to be a GG, very well played, and we hop into that next game. Alright, there are 2 or 3 core breakers, I would say, for this team on the lead. That's going to be Frisian, it's going to be Guzzlord, and also Steelix. If you see those, we're not running Focus Blast or any nuke move to basically try to make a play against those Pokemons. You're kind of screwed, and well, it's hard to play on playing around that. With, for example, the safe swap of Jellicent, you kind of have to hope that your opponent stays in and go for an aerial ace to get shield advantage. Maybe then you get then you have a chance of winning those games. But as you can see, this game feels kind of like an RPS game, where they even have a Lantern as a safe swap, so it's not looking too good, to be honest, for us. So we're just going to go for a Thunder Punch here, making sure we get some damage off, as obviously we don't want this Pokemon aligned against our Poliwrath as well. They're gonna go for another move here, and after that I think we can farm down, leave with some energy, hoping that we might be able to snipe later on in this match when shields are down, and then also hope that Poliwrath has play in the back. So we swap, and they have another electric type. So basically, having their whole team was hard counters against our team, I should say. Those things happens. That's the thing what you hate about this game, right? But yeah, there wasn't a lot that we could have done in this game. I'm going to play it out a bit, and then after that I will, I think, top left there, as well, there's nothing to do for us here to try to win this game. Which is a bit unfortunate and annoying, as I said. This just does absolutely nothing. I'm hoping that they will shield at some point, but still, their Frisian is so healthy. The Icy Wind is not stab, even though Icy Wind is not the hardest hitting attack move anyways. We shield up a Sap Cannon here, and that's just going to be game. They're gonna shield up this move, and after that, there's just nothing we could do, honestly. RPS, those are the most frustrating ones. They go for the move here straight away, under tapping that as well. So yeah, GG's to my opponent, and we're gonna hop into that next game after we top left it, but I got it out anyway. So GG's. So we face up a Aurorus. I faced a lot of Aurorus leads on this lead today. I think it's a team or something on YouTube. I don't know, but still, this team basically works against it very well. We're gonna safe swap instantly into that Jellicent, and we actually land the liquidation. That's so much damage, and now we can go for another liquidation at this point. Just spamming out these moves, as liquidation is just a nice move to land, and also having the potential of debuffing your opponent's defense by one stage. So yeah, that just makes it a bit scary. And now let's see if we can actually, well, go for another move here. And if my opponent is deciding to shield. If they're gonna shield here, that's going to be super nice. Because then afterwards we can actually get a nice farm down. If they're running Crunch and Aqua Tail on their Drapion. Which I'm just assuming they are. So we're just gonna come in with the Poliwrath here. And if that's going to be the case, we have so much energy coming our way. And my opponent recognizes that and they just top left instantly. So GG's there, and we're gonna hop into that next game. So Cresselia is a bit of a tough one for this team, but honestly we have the answer for it in AMPHAROS with the Brutal Swing. And my opponent is safe swapping to a Guzzlord. And honestly, I've said it many times before, but I'm gonna say it again. Pokemons that are double weak against, for example, I would say Alolan Sandslash against Fighting, or in this case the Guzzlord against Fairy. Those are not mons that you should use as a safe swap, because if your opponent is running any of those hard counters, you would just get punished and the game is basically already over. You need those mons on either as a closer or as a lead Pokemon, and otherwise don't use them, because it's not going to be, well, very advantageous for you. So Guzzlord, as I said, is a core breaker for this team, but on the lead. If you face it in the back and you get your Poliwrath like this aligned, it's going to be very easy to manage there. We're just going to spam out these Icy Winds or Scalds. Doesn't really matter as long as we get a lot of damage off. I think we should be in a good spot here. So, well, they say something into a Guzzlord, so now I'm thinking, what do they have in the back? Maybe a Greninja or anything like that. If that's going to be the case, then we're a bit of a tough spot with our two remaining Pokemon, as Jellicent has Shadow Claw, and that's going to be a bit unfortunate. I'm going to come in with my AMPHAROS, go for the move straight away, and we actually, well, we are able to make it there with our opponent, without our opponent catching it or anything like that. So that's quite nice. So we're just gonna, well, shoot up this move. I think they're one stage debuffed, if I'm not mistaken, as I didn't really watch the full battle, as I'm also sometimes watching into the camera, right? But they have a Poliwrath in the back, so this game is basically over. We have the answers for it. That's also basically the thought process behind this team, as Poliwrath is everywhere, right? And we just made a team that just basically triple counters it, besides having the mirror match with Poliwrath into Poliwrath. But that's a mirror match where your Poliwrath, depending if you have an energy lead, can easily win that as well. And with the Jellicent in the back, that's just one of the hardest counters, I would say. And in general, if your opponent is having the Poliwrath on the lead, they're gonna safe swap instantly, because they don't want it aligned to your AMPHAROS, right? And after that, they might come back in, farm up, and have some energy lead, and then they can throw those Scalds. But at that point, you're just gonna come in with your Jellicent pot, where basically all the moves that the Poliwrath can throw are going to be resisted, and that's why this team is very strong right now, I would say so myself. So they're gonna swap back in with that Cresselia, and we're just gonna go for the area. It doesn't really matter at this point. We take them out here, and this game is over. My opponent knows it, and they're gonna top left. GG's. Alrighty, next game. In the next game, we face a Greninja on the lead. So, very positive lead for us. I think we have two great answers for this Pokemon. So, we're just gonna stay in for a while. Look at those Volt Switches. They do so much damage. We're gonna shield here. If there's going to be the Hydro, that's going to do a lot of damage. And then afterwards, we're just going to under-tap it, as they threw their fast move, meaning that they couldn't switch out there. And now we go for the move here, and they actually let it go. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna snipe you then. I'm gonna safe swap into my Poliwrath instead of the Jellicent. And that's fine as well. Poliwrath is just so strong that you can easily safe swap it there at any time also. But I'm using Jellicent for this team to do so, to lure out those flyers or electric type mons. So I'm gonna go for the Icy Wind at first, just to make sure that we can take a play rough fairly easily. And then we will also make another move to basically threaten a shield or anything like that. We go for a Scald here. Just to get guaranteed damage if they let it go, and also maybe a debuff. That's just a bit of luck, right? And we actually get it. So at this point, there's 2 stages debuffed, which is absolutely, well, it's very nice for us. We can easily let this move go through. They have to go for a play rough, which they do. Otherwise, I think a Brutal Swing at that range, which is not stab, we could have easily survived. So I'm gonna go for the move here straight away, making sure that we get that Wheezing low, and then afterwards, can we snipe it once more? No, we cannot, as they decided to swap instantly as well. And now they have a Skeledirge in the back, and the reason, or the fact that we swapped at the same time, means that we can easily go for double liquidation. Also means that we can easily shield up. We don't have to be aware or be scared of a potential bait. If they do so, doesn't really matter, as we will outplace them to the move anyways. So basically the only play there was just to go for the nuke move, and we had a free or very safe shield there to do so anyway. So yeah, that's going to be a GG. Very well played here, and we take them out. GG's. Alrighty, next game we face up an another Aurorus lead. Said it before, said it again. We faced a lot of those today, or yesterday I should say. These battles are from yesterday. And we're just gonna go for the liquidation straight away. And this time around my opponent actually catch it on a Jellicent, which is fine. If we get the debuff, that's actually going to be advantageous for us. We are not gonna get the debuff unfortunately, but still those Shadow Claws will add up over time. So we're gonna go for Aerial Ace spam now, as we didn't get the debuff. You just want to go for one liquidation in general. If you get the debuff, that's going to be super nice for you and advantageous. If not, just spam out these Aerial Aces, as they will do the work and the damage as well. Looking back at it, I might have to shield the potential Shadow Ball there if I want to flip switch anyways, because at this point I'm feeling like, alright, they let this move go through, and if we get the Aurorus aligned to our Poliwrath, that's just GG's in my opinion, as they have a Jellicent replying to our Golisopod. Gives me the feeling that they might have a Poliwrath in the back as well. So now let's see what do they have actually. So we're gonna go for yet another liquidation, as we do reach it before they throw, and my opponent might want to farm all the way down here, which is going to be absolutely fine if they do so. We get the defense fell as well, and now one or two counters going to be just fine to take them out here. What do they have in the back? It's going to be that Poliwrath, as we predicted, as we saw it coming. We're just gonna spam out these Thunder Punches now, and the reason why you just can, well, tell that they probably have the Poliwrath in the back, right? It's just the team composition in general. ABB line is very common. We have it as well, and if they have another water type to lure out those electric type mons, anything like that, they in general have that Poliwrath in the back, just like now. So we're just gonna spam out these Thunder Punches. We didn't get any debuffs if I'm not mistaken, and now at this point we can easily let this move go through. The damage has been done with default switches. We didn't even land any charge move of the AMPHAROS here, but still we can just come in with the Poliwrath here and farm him all the way down. They're gonna make a nice combo player, as you can see, which is going to be, well, nice play by them, but honestly these meteor beams are not going to cut it for them. We take them out with the counter damage, we leave with the move, and now we can go for the Scald, and that's going to be a GG. Very well played. As we can see, we take them out. GG's, and that's going to be it for this battle. Hopping into the next battle, we face up against a Tentacruel, so very positive lead matchup for us, and they swap into a Greedent. So I instantly feel like I don't have to use my I should not use my Poliwrath here, but well, we're still going to do so, as I don't really have a hard answer for a Greedent save swap except for my Poliwrath. Also, due to the fact that I have very high IV, that I have a very high IV Poliwrath here, that actually is going to help us very much in this matchup, where I can go for one. Well, that's something I figured out. It's going to be different if you have a lower ranked or another ranked whatsoever Poliwrath. Obviously, you gotta feel those matchups, right? But I know, I noticed that once I've landed one Icy Wind in this situation, I can easily farm them all the way down without having to worry about them or about them taking me out. Look at this. We're gonna leave with 1 HP. That's just going to be absolutely perfect for us. We even leave with the harder hitting move of Scald, and now hopefully we will get a debuff as well. And if it's going to be the case, that's going to be absolutely perfect, as we do get it. So now we can come in. We have an energy lead here. They're gonna come in. I'm gonna overfarm until the potential focus blast here, go for the move, and as you can see, they actually decided to shield, which is huge. And now we're gonna swap into that Golisopod. This game isn't over, although we do have 2-to-1 shields. Our fast move is just doing absolutely nothing, and if they get the boost, I think we're gonna lose. So we just gotta hope that Obstagoon is not going to get the boost, and if that's going to be the case, I think we have a chance. We go for the liquidation at first, and they let the move go through. Well, they only have 1 shield, so they're gonna have to pick the right moment where they're gonna use that shield. And as you can see, we're not doing any fast move damage. It's just going to be a little bit pathetic looking at the HP not going down or anything like that. They swap in here. I have to go for the aerial ace, although I didn't want to, but the switch time wasn't up just yet, and I do need my Golisopod here with a slither of HP for that Obstagoon. And we're gonna go for the Thunder Punch straight away. And at this point, I'm expecting them to probably go for baits all the time, but still I want to preserve HP on my AMPHAROS, and it's also giving me time to farm up some energy. So I'm just going to shield whatever they throw. They go for a acid spray. They have a lot of energy here, so they're gonna go for yet another move. And at this point, I do think that I have enough HP remaining where I will make an aerial ace no matter what. unless they might get a boost and they throw instantly. But my opponent needs 2 Night Slashes basically to win this game, so I farm up a bit more than I can, which allows me to get to the charge attack here, and that's going to be a GG. Very well played. That game was very close. Maybe didn't look like it was, but it was very close. So, talking about core breakers, as I said it before, Steelix on the lead is a bit of a pain, as it's not that common anymore. That's why, you can easily run this team. Also, 1 Virizion lead. Besides that, haven't seen a lot. So they go for Psychic Fangs and then they're probably gonna dip. So in this case, there's no way of me flipping that matchup because they just Psychic Fangs me. In general, this matchup is okay-ish, where you can go for liquidation. If you get the defense drop, which we didn't, you have a potential of flipping that mid-game matchup. But as we didn't get it, as we are also debuffed by our defense, there's just no way of me winning. They go for the move, and what move it's going to be? It's actually going to be an Ancient Power. So talking about no chance, well, this is one of those scenarios. Feeling like an RPS game once again. Now let's see if we can actually do something about it. I'm gonna overfarm slightly here, although we don't have a Focus Blast or anything like that to potentially play against that Steelix, but let's see what we can do. We go for the Brutal Swing after we have overfarmed a bit, but I'm not feeling like this is going to KO. We go for the move here, and as you can see, it just barely doesn't KO. You will always see it, right? Always with those Giratinas, they're just too tanky. They throw another Dragon Claw here. Now we're gonna hard swap, making sure we can take a bit of advantage of that switch timer, getting some valuable counter damage. And now let's see what do they have in the back. I'm gonna shield up this move, as it's going to be super effective damage, although it's not going to do too much. And what do they have in the back? It's Confusion Cresselia. So talking about RPS, those are the games those are the reasons why I don't like this game at sometimes. Let me know in the comments down below if you feel the same. Yeah, top left, and we're just going to leave that game. Alrighty, next game. Let's see who we face and what we face. We face a Poliwrath. So I said it before, triple hard counter team, or not triple hard, but triple counter team to a Poliwrath. They say swap into their Greedent. Greedent's very common right now as well, as it is a very strong one. I'm building one myself as well. I have a rank 10 for the Ultra League, but I don't have the XL just yet, which is a bit unfortunate. And we know what's gonna happen, right? We're gonna go for 1 Icy Wind, and then after that we should leave with 1 HP and a Dream in most matchups. I haven't seen it played against out a rank 1 Greedent. Maybe that's going to be a bit different, where they will reach a potential last body slam. But as you can see, we go for the full farm down here. And then we will leave with a move, and in general that's going to be that Scald. They go for the move here, they have another body slam stored, but I'm not too worried. I think we can easily tank this one and then leave with 1 HP and a Dream. Yes, we can. I think a bit less than the previous matchup, so it is a bit of a risk, but so far so good. It just paid out a lot, as they will only get 1 counter, and we also have a slight energy lead on our Ampharos. But I'm not gonna come in with my Ampharos, as I'm feeling with 2 shields, Ampharos, and default switch damage is just going to tear apart anything basically, unless they have a Steelix in the back lurking. Then that would be a bit unfortunate. But others, besides that, they have a Registeel, we have an energy lead, and I think this game is over. They can only hit us for a Focus Blast. They need 2 as well. We have 2 shields, so wow, I don't think my opponent here has a chance of flipping or winning this mid or last or final matchup, I should say. And as you can see, they're gonna go for the Focus Blast. That does a decent amount of damage, but Lock-on just doesn't do any damage. It only generates energy very fast, so you get to those nuke moves quite quickly. But besides that, well, Registeel is not the strongest anymore, or has always. It's a strong, very bulky one, obviously, but still with the no fast move pressure, as you can see, the Ampharos does have. That's just going to be a GG. At this point, I don't feel like I have to shield it as well. I can easily come in, make sure that we get an energy lead on our Golisopod, and then this game should be over. We're farming up as much as we dare, go for the aerial ace, as I do think this is just going to be enough to take them out. And if not, I think one or two Dragon Claws or Shadow Claws will be. It is just enough to take them out there, and now we can easily go for the aerial ace. They go for an Icy Wind here just to well, make sure that my attack gets lowered by 1 stage, but as you can see, I don't think that's going to cut it for them. Those Shadow Claws will add up as well, and they let this move go through, and that's going to be a GG. Very well played. Alrighty, next game. Skeledirge lead. So This team is also kind of triple strong against Skeledirge, although Skeledirge does have a lot of play. But the nice thing about this matchup is that we will always outpace and we will always throw on good timing as well. So I'm just gonna go for the move as soon as I get there every time, making sure that we will outpace our opponent. And actually they decide to overfarm that much where I reach my second one. And if they decide to shield this move as well, I'm just going to save swap and take whatever they throw. And they throw instantly, meaning that I think this is going to be a disarming voice due to the fact that my HP on my AMPHAROS was so low that a Shadow Ball wasn't gonna be enough. So they make a nice catch here on a Gyarados, which is okay. If we get the defense drop, that's going to be very nice, because then I think 2 areas will be enough. We unfortunately don't get the defense drop, which is a bit unfortunate. And now let's see what we can do. Can we reach those double aerial aces? Yes, we can. And now if we want to, we can actually flip switch if my opponent decides to not throw and if they want to get the full farm down. But my opponent recognizes that and they go for their move. At this point, I'm feeling like 1 Volt Switch is probably going to be enough to get the KO here. So we're just going to come in with the Poliwrath, and my opponent actually decides to, well, top left there. And that's going to be a GG, very well played. And I think that's going to be it for this video, for this battle. And yeah, as you can see, yeah, I think that this is the last one. Yeah. So, hope you trainers enjoyed this video. If you got some questions about the team or anything like that, or you want some variations on the lead, for example, maybe a Magnezone or anything like that, let me know down in the comments what you think that will work as well. And I will see you trainers in the next video.